Hello and welcome back to Mini Days. So today I'm going to make a wreath for this door. So I'm just going to head outside because I really want to use as much as I can from outside to make this project. Partly because it saves money and partly because I really want to kind of use things from the countryside. So just looking in the barn here, I can see I have plenty of chicken wire, and over here there is a selection of twigs. Now these twigs I love because they're like little trees, so I might use some of those, but really you want kind of like, I don't know what they're called, but they're just more bendy like willow, that type of. These ones here seem really bendy, so that shouldn't be too much problem using those. So I'm just going to grab some chicken wire. This looks about the right size. It doesn't really matter what size you pick up as long as it's long enough to make a circle with. So back in the house we go. I've just set my era up to put the twigs on because the dog is chewing them. So getting on with making the actual ring for the wreath. So I've just gotten some chicken wire. It's about, I don't know, maybe it's 1.5 meters long, and I've just rolled the longer edge. So just keep rolling it. You don't really need gloves on. It doesn't really stick in your chicken wire. It's quite easy to work with. It's just a bit springy when you get started, but just keep rolling and rolling until you have a length of rolled chicken wire. You can roll it quite tight if you want. It just makes sometimes the twigs a bit harder to push through, but it's fine. So once you've got a length of chicken wire all rolled up, just squash it down just so it's easier to kind of keep it into shape. So next I just used a washing basket just because this was roughly the size I wanted the ring to be, and I just held it round, and I think it was about 5 inches kind of overlap roughly. So yeah, I just got some wire cutters and then just trimmed off that extra bit that I didn't need. It just kind of tidied up that edge as well a little bit. So hopefully my husband won't watch this because I think these are his good wire cutters, and I'll put them back before he gets in tonight. That's fine. So yeah, that's roughly about the size I want. So just to attach these, I was going to use something else to attach them, and then I just decided just to open out one end. I'm opening out the bigger end because it wasn't quite square, this piece of mesh, so chicken wire. So I just opened out the bigger end, and then I just got the smaller end and just kind of pushed it inside. It is really easy to work with. You just have to be patient. It's really bendy, and once you kind of bend it, it doesn't bend back either. So it's amazing what you can make out of chicken wire. The first time I've made anything out of chicken wire, by the way. So once you've secured the ends together, just scrunch it up so it's into a circle, the size you want. And then get your bits of twigs and twine and whatever you can find. I was kind of bending them to see if they would snap, because a lot of what I picked up did snap. It doesn't matter, it just means you can put smaller pieces in. But I thought I'd get started with this larger piece of willow. So I just threaded it in one end and then brought it round. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky pushing it in sometimes, but just twist it as you're pushing it in. If it doesn't go in, just try it somewhere else and it will. And then any ends that kind of just snap off, don't worry about, or just snap them off if they're too long anyway. So this bit, yeah, it did take a little while, and there was a mess everywhere on the floor. So I've just used this old table. I've had this table for so long. You've seen it in my other craft projects. I've had this since the kids were really small, and the amount of work I've done on this table, I couldn't tell you. So just keep pushing them in. Now what I've tried to do is have the twigs all kind of running round in the same direction. So yeah, so it's kind of the ends aren't sticking out all over in different directions. The ends are sticking out the chicken wire, kind of facing in the same direction. Now if you find that some of the bits are just not holding together and it's all a bit loose, just put some twine on. You can easily take this twine off later when it's all a little bit more kind of knit together, or the twine's often hidden by the extra bits that I add on at the end. So I added a bit of twine in probably about 3 places going round. So now it's starting to look like a giant bird's nest. I'm not too bothered about all of the chicken wire being hid because it's just kind of country looking, and yeah, when it's on the door, you don't really see the chicken wire. So then just break off any branches that you think just look a bit too long. And then that's about it. That's kind of the base that you've got to work from. That's the hardest bit out of the way by any stretch, yeah. So next I'm just going to cut some of these branches. I have no idea what they are. Just this bush and on the drive, and it is a bit overgrown. So I like the way these are quite delicate little leaves, and these will easily just push into the twigs. Now the dog's just run off with a piece, and she should come back with it, hopefully. Bring that back, you little monkey. The dog always likes to take part in these videos, as I'm sure you're aware. She just likes to get involved, but that's fine. She just does her own little bit. Okay, so I'm just hung this on the area so I can kind of see what it's going to be like. And I'm just pushing these little bits of branches, little kind of, I don't know what this is called. I'm sure if you're a gardener, you'll know what this is called. And I'm just trimming them off. The bits are a bit long. I love the way the kind of bits of wood are shown through, and it looks a little bit, yeah, rustic. Okay, so next I've just got some bits of bark. I picked this up ages ago when we first moved in. Just a lovely chunk of bark. I've had it in the washroom. It's dried, kind of, yeah, it looks nice. And I thought I'd just push a few bits in. I haven't fastened these in. They're just literally just pushed in, going round. So yeah, I just had about 4 pieces I just pushed on, just to create a little something on the bottom of the wreath without looking too much. Okay, so next I'm just going to grab some feathers that I keep here on my notice board that I made in my previous project. That's really handy because the dog can't get them up there. So I've got about 4 feathers here which I found just on my walks with the dog. So I'm just going to again just push those in. I just love how when I'm walking along with the dog I find things which are so perfect. And the land is so kind of not perfect, you know, with the changes in the season. There's loads of kind of deadness, and then you just see these perfect feathers randomly now and again. So next I'm going to add this capital C, our initial, and I'm going to show you how. I'm just going to wrap it in black twine. Now I was going to use cardboard to make this C, but it's just not durable enough. So a company called Your Craft Shapes sent it to me, which was really nice of them. I hope I do it justice. I'm sure they'll do any letter, any size. I'll put the link in the description if you want one. So I'm just going to use black twine for this bit. Yeah, I just thought the black would stand out a bit more because the door this is going on is like a pale cream colour. So I just doubled it up 4 times. I doubled it up twice. And then tied a knot in the end, just so that it was much quicker to kind of wrap the C rather than just going around with one piece of twine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue the end on. I'm just starting here in the middle because I think it might be easier than kind of having the thick 4 layers at the edges, at the end, sorry, where it's going to be a little bit more trickier. So I've just put a dot of glue on there, and I'm just going to secure that on. And then basically I'm just going to wrap the black twine around and round and round until the whole C is covered. I did actually go down to just using one kind of piece of that twine to wrap round when I got to the very end, the smaller bits of the C on the edges, just because this was a bit too thick. And yeah, but this was quite easy to do, to be honest with you. So once you've covered it all, looks quite nice, stands out really nice, just like I wanted. Just get a piece of hessian, and then you can just tie your bow in. You don't really need to secure it, just tie like an ordinary just bow in it, and just play around with it until you get the right size. I was going to make a bigger bow for this project, but then it just looked too big because there's quite a lot going on with the greenery and what have you, so I think this was the best option. So it's probably about, I don't know, 10 inches wide, the widest point. Now I'm happy enough with that. And then I'm going to attach this C roughly about there. So I'm just going to cut off the ends because they're a little bit kind of wrinkly looking. I'm just going to cut them in under a slight angle here so it looks a bit more like a bow. And then I'm going to attach the C. So I'm just going to use some of the black twine that I used to wrap the C up. And I'm just going to kind of attach it to the back and tie it in a knot. And then I'm just going to sew this through part of the bow so that it doesn't move around. So I'm just going to attach it about there, and I'm going to sew this through both ends of the bow just so it doesn't kind of flip round. I don't think it would flip round in the wind, it's too heavy anyway, but just like to make sure it's nice and secure. And then just turn it over and just fasten it on the other side. So to attach this section to the actual wreath, I'm just using a wooden peg, and I've just literally clipped it under the back of the bow, and then just clip that onto one of the branches on the wreath, and it felt really secure. It wasn't not going to fall off or go anywhere, so I'm really happy with that. So I'm just going to add a few flowers from the back garden. I've no idea what these are. I just felt like I needed brightening up a little bit, because this really is kind of the way the countryside looks now. Well, I hope you've enjoyed watching this week's DIY project. I've loved making it, and my door looks so much prettier now. So I just thought this was a really good way on connecting the countryside and our family, which is obviously the C is the capital letter for our surname. So thumbs up if you like this project, and comment down below, that would be brilliant. And please subscribe so you don't miss my next project, which I'm working on right now. Bye! You like it? Hey, don't you eat it.